Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. I want to thank you all for joining us on the show today. Red Carpet is a show that brings you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in film, television from around the world. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. Let's go. And let's start with sports. Super Bowl 54 got off to a high note in Miami, even before a single snap was played between the San Francisco 49ers and Kansas City Chiefs. Grammy winner and gospel music legend Yolanda Adams performed America the Beautiful, followed by a powerful performance of the national anthem by platinum recording artist Demi Lovato. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira spiced up the halftime show, infusing the stage with an exuberance and joy that celebrated their Latina heritage. Shakira performed a hip-shaking performance of She Wolf, her World Cup anthem Waka Waka, This Is Time for Africa, and a fast-moving medley that ended with her hit Hips Don't Lie. And Lopez started with a nostalgic snippet of Jenny from the Block and tore through smashes like Love Don't Cost a Thing and On the Flow. J Balvin and Bad Bunny joined the party on stage, but the most memorable guest might have been Lopez's daughter, Emmy, who joined her mother for a verse on Let's Get Loud, where the 11-year-old sang the chorus of Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. And during the performance, the cross lit up in purple and gold colors on the field as tribute to LA Lakers legend Kobe Bryant, who tragically passed away in a helicopter crash with his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi, and 7 other people. People magazine senior editor Janine Rubinstein was impressed by the halftime performance.
A lot of people are thinking this show really spoke to Miami. It spoke to just a fresh new take on the halftime show. This were the first 2 Latina women to co-headline the Super Bowl, and they killed it. They brought a lot of energy. They didn't have a lot of gimmicks. They just gave you that good performance that you were wanting to kind of get you through the next half of the game.
This was the first halftime show managed by Jay-Z in his new deal with the NFL. The businessman and his wife Beyonce, however, opted to remain seated during the national anthem, sparking controversy and speculation that it was a form of solidarity with former quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who had been kneeling during the national anthem before games in 2016 in protest against police brutality. And then there were the commercials such as Lil Nas X dressed up as a cowboy for a Doritos Cool Ranch ad.
Make your move, cowboy.
I got the horses in the back, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch. Can't nobody tell.
Missy Elliott and her joining forces for Pepsi Zero Sugar.
I see your red door and I want to paint it black. I paint the red door black, dance floor black. I'm in my own lane, unapologetic, and I do my own thing. Got my own brain.
And then, of course, Oprah teaming up with Dwayne Johnson as running mates.
Hey, Oprah,
Yeah, Dwayne.
we're running.
Yeah,
We're mates.
we're mates.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm in. You in?
I'm in.
South African singer Shoma Josie also performed during the memorable Miami weekend, bringing her talents to an event surrounding the big game and celebrating the gig with posts on social media.
Sometimes when we find out I that international collaborations, every day I kaya, every day Devin, every day Limpopo, man.
Now, one of the the things that has been high on the agenda for the Oscars has been sustainability. So let's take a peek into Dolby Ballroom for a preview of the official Oscars after party. For the Governor's Ball, guests come through immediately after the Oscars, where 70 dishes are prepared by Chef Wolfgang Puck and his 200-strong team, with 70% being plant-based.
But I think at the end of the day, everything in moderation for me is the most important part, you know. If you don't want to be vegan, it's your choice, you know. If you don't want to go to church, it's your choice. So I think we certainly have to look a little bit about the environment.
Academy Governor Louise Bowell pointed out the importance of such a discussion.
I actually think it's fabulous that there are so many questions being asked around it, because it's shining a light into a dark area, and that's very important. And that's actually what cinema does do. It can shine lights in dark areas and bring people together for a conversation or a communal experience. That's what a cinema is.
Now let's head to London, where the gut-wrenching World War I epic 1917 was the big winner at this year's British Academy Film Awards, also known as Bafta, winning 7 awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. But the glitzy event was overshadowed by criticism of the nominees' lack of diversity, even from some of the nominees themselves. No women were nominated as Best Director for the 7th year running, and all 20 nominees in the lead and supporting performer categories were white. Best Actor winner Joaquin Phoenix slammed the lack of diversity in his acceptance speech, saying that it sent a very clear message to people of color that you're not welcome here. Awards organizers called it disappointing that there was no performers of color among acting nominees, who were chosen by 6,500 Academy members who work in the UK and international film industry. The Rising Star Award, which is the only one trophy decided on by the public, went to Black British actor Michael Ward. British star Cynthia Erivo, who is Oscar nominated for her performance as abolitionist Harriet Tubman in the movie Harriet, was also snubbed by Britain's Academy. She also declined an invitation to perform at the award ceremony in protest. Brad Pitt was named Best Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and while he did not attend, he sent a jokey acceptance speech read out by his co-star Margot Robbie, saying, "Hey Britain, heard you became single? Welcome to the club," he said, one of the several references during the ceremony to the UK's exit from European Union. Also referencing recent turmoil in the royal family, saying that he was going to name the trophy after Harry because he's really excited about bringing it back to the States with him. And speaking of royals, or now former royals, Meghan Markle's first post-royal TV gig will be about second weddings. The 30-year-old will reportedly make multiple appearances in I Do Redo, on which she joins a friend and Toronto wedding stylist Jessica Mulroney, the star of upcoming Netflix show. According to a press release, the 10-part series revisits first-time wedding disasters before remaking the wedding dreams of 10 devoted couples. Having been married once herself before meeting her Prince Charming, it's only fitting that Markle will be featured on this show. Women, weddings, and now diamonds. 2 South African sisters are rare gems themselves, running one of the few women-owned diamond polishing businesses in the world. Despite the slumping global market for diamonds and the shrinking industry in South Africa, they have managed to keep shining and developing new female talent. Maurice de Klerk has our story from South Africa. Check it out.
A passion for diamonds drove South African sisters Mozibudi Jo Matoli and Khmotso Ramodiba to drop their careers as an investment banker and an optometrist. After qualifying as diamond valuators, in 2008, they started a cutting and polishing shop, the first and only one run by sisters in South Africa.
Barriers to entry go beyond just being a woman or being a man, because the difficulty, it boils down to having an outfit like this. You really need a proper capital outlay. And for women, it becomes a bit tricky because this has always been a very male-dominated industry.
But seeing challenges as opportunities, The sisters cut their way into the diamond industry, selling only responsibly sourced certified stones bought from mining companies operating in South Africa. Kwame Diamonds carved out a niche in cutting and polishing fancy and bespoke cut diamonds.
To produce a forever marked diamond, which according to them, it's 1% of the world diamonds that are produced. If you are able to polish that kind of diamond, then you are among one of the best.
Matoli and Ramudipa employ and empower women in the diamond industry by developing their skills.
Now I can go out there and say, I'm a diamond cutter. I'm even specializing with fancy cut. It's something that it's so wow, because other people, they don't know it.
Globally, polished diamonds' profit margins are declining. The South African industry shrank from 4,500 polishers 25 years ago to only 250 polishers today. But the sister-run Kwame Diamonds has managed to not only stay in the market, but gain a reputation for innovation.
They're looking at the diamond industry from a different perspective. They're thinking out of the box, and maybe they're ticking all the right boxes that is giving them the success that they have. And maybe that's what a lot of the older diamond industry can learn from.
South Africa's diamond industry fears a lack of growth will not provide enough jobs for trained diamond talent. Matoli disagrees.
How you approach the business is what will set you apart. So yes, it is shrinking, but we are here not to shrink. We are here to make sure that we expand.
These dynamic sisters are determined to prove not that diamonds are a girl's best friend, but rather an industry where women can shine.
His father was the boxing champion of Africa, and now Imani Ayisi is making history himself by becoming the first sub-Saharan designer to be included in the Paris Haute Couture Fashion Week. Not only is he joining fashion's creme de la creme, the fashion designer from Cameroon is shaking up the stereotype of what African materials are by refusing to use wax prints, which he dismisses as being colonial.
It's the first time the French Haute Couture Federation invited a black man from sub-Saharan Africa, so it's a huge opening. For me, it's a source of pride that I can show my work and show real African fabrics, African heritage. Not all the outfits are made with African fabrics, but I do mixes. There are jackets and little coats that I mix with noble fabrics from other countries. France, England, Italy, all that. Sometimes fabrics that also come from Asia.
He explained his decision for choosing certain fabrics and adding his touch to the creative process.
I used very noble fabrics such as silk, very noble and European fabrics. I also tried to integrate rustic fabrics that have nothing to do with the nobility of textiles. Fabrics like raw cotton, like raffia, which comes from Cameroon or Gabon, which you work in the village and then you give it its colors. You give it its shapes, you weave it, and after all that, it depends what you want to do with it. There's a whole process of working with it to try to develop it and transform it.
De travail à faire avec pour essayer de le développer, de le transformer, je veux dire.
And before we go, let's hear some reggae music from one woman who is making history herself. Michaela Simpson, known in the music world as Coffee, became the youngest and first female artist to win a Grammy for Best Reggae Album for Rapture, which spent 32 weeks on Billboard's Reggae Albums chart after debuting at #1. We have no doubt we'll be hearing more from the 19-year-old Jamaican singer. Here's a listen to one of her biggest hits, Toast. And thanks for joining VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Bunganyi. For more entertainment news, check us out at voanews.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Until next time, goodbye everyone.